according to Canada's own official evaluation for its next fighter jet. The Swedish Gripen scored a mere 33% on military capability. By contrast, the American F-35 scored 95%. By any rational measure, the competition should be over. And yet, serious high-level discussions between Ottawa and Saab, the Gripen's manufacturer, are happening right now. This presents a paradox that numbers alone cannot resolve. The disparity points to a fundamental question, not of technical points, but of national strategy and sovereign choice. The answer reveals a far deeper truth about Canada's geography and its future. To solve this puzzle, we don't begin by comparing technical specifications. We must first understand the unique national defense doctrine that forged this aircraft. To understand the doctrine that forged this aircraft, we don't start in a boardroom. We start with a map. Look at Sweden. It's not an island, nor is it buffered by friendly nations on all sides. Its northern geography places it directly adjacent to Russia's Kola Peninsula. This isn't just a line on a map. It's the home of the Russian Northern Fleet and a significant portion of its strategic nuclear submarine force. The U.S. Department of Defense's own 2024 Arctic strategy confirms that this concentration of military power forces a homeland survival priority onto its neighbors. For the Swedish Air Force, this means a daily, non-negotiable reality of readiness to intercept military aircraft, like Russian Tu-95 bombers flying out of the Murmansk region. This proximity dictates strategy. Think of it this way. A homeowner in northern Manitoba doesn't finance a luxury sports car before installing a robust heating system, a powerful backup generator, and a strong fence. Their priority is survival and resilience, dictated by their environment, not projecting an image of wealth. Sweden's defense doctrine applies the same cold logic. Its primary concern is not projecting power across the globe. It is the absolute, unwavering defense of its own territory in a harsh, demanding environment. Diverting finite resources to distant alliance missions is not seen as a simple act of cooperation. It is a direct and unacceptable risk to national survival. This isn't a political choice. It's a cartographic mandate. This is not a temporary posture or a fleeting political signal. It is a doctrine rooted deep in geography and history. This raises the critical question. When a nation's entire defense philosophy is built on this foundation of brutal self-reliance, what kind of tool does it engineer? What does a fighter aircraft look like when its sole purpose isn't power projection, but ensuring survival in the unforgiving North? The answer to that question is forged in steel and code, the Saab Gripen. It is the physical embodiment of the Arctic Resilience Doctrine, a tool engineered not for global power projection, but for survival against a superior force in a hostile climate. To grasp this, you must clear your mind of airshow displays and pristine hangars. Instead, picture a blizzard on a remote stretch of highway somewhere in the high north. An F-35, a marvel of network technology, is a grounded asset. It needs a long, clean runway and a significant support team just to operate under ideal conditions. Here, its complexity becomes its vulnerability. Now, picture a Gripen landing on a cleared 800-meter stretch of that same icy highway. It was engineered for this. It can execute a cold start at temperatures below minus 30 degrees Celsius without a hangar. A minimal ground crew, a handful of technicians, not a platoon, can refuel and rearm it in just 10 minutes, sending it back into the fight. As one analyst noted, it was designed to thrive where temperatures plunge below minus 40 and infrastructure barely exists, where speed, resilience, and independence decide everything. This is the key that unlocks the 33% paradox. That score was the result of a generic test, a checklist designed for a different reality, one that values capabilities for overseas missions. The Gripen wasn't built to win that test. It was built to win in the Arctic, where the unforgiving laws of physics and geography are the only judges. Its excellence is ruthlessly context-dependent. The very idea of a universal best fighter is a myth, a marketer's fiction. It's like asking if a surgeon's scalpel is superior to a firefighter's axe. The question is meaningless without defining the mission. So, the puzzle of the low score is solved. But this clarity only forces a far more important question, the one that matters for Canada today. Understanding the jet is one thing. Understanding the offer that comes with it is another. What is Sweden actually proposing? And why does it represent a fundamental challenge to how we think about our own sovereign industrial future? Sweden's proposal to Canada isn't about selling an aircraft. It's an invitation to adopt an entire strategic model, forged in the same northern realities we face. This is the fundamental challenge to our thinking. The offer is a deep industrial partnership. Saab isn't just offering to sell us the Gripen. They are proposing to build both the Gripen fighter and the globalized surveillance aircraft directly on Canadian soil, likely in Ontario or Quebec. The core of this proposal is the complete transfer of technology. This isn't a black box. It's an open architecture, positioning Canada as what Saab calls a contributor rather than a customer in shaping what comes next. The economic implications are significant. Independent analysis, based on Saab's own statements, projects the creation of between 6,000 and 12,600 direct, high-skilled jobs over the 40-year life of the program. The goal extends beyond our own fleet. It's to establish Canada as a manufacturing and export hub for these Arctic optimized systems. The seriousness of this is underscored by the high-level engagement we've seen between Swedish executives and our own senior government officials. This is far more than a routine sales pitch. This fundamentally reframes our strategic calculus. The choice is no longer just about which jet performs better on a spreadsheet. It is a choice between two distinct futures. On one hand, Canada can continue as a customer within the massive, highly capable, but US-led F-35 program. We would be a participant in a global supply chain, receiving a world-class aircraft. On the other hand, we can become a partner with Sweden. This implies joining an industrial and strategic ecosystem that is explicitly aligned with our own geography and sovereign priorities. This path leads to greater technological control and industrial self-reliance. This is not an anti-alliance argument. It is a pro-sovereignty calculation. It poses the question of whether our first priority is reinforcing our own national resilience or reinforcing our role within a larger collective. So, the proposal is on the table. Beyond the aircraft itself, which part of this partner versus customer offer do you think holds the most strategic value for Canada's long-term future? The local jobs, the shared technology, or the operational independence in the Arctic? Let me know your top priority in the comments. Making this choice between being a customer or a partner is the key that unlocks something far more powerful. It's not just about one-time benefits. It's about activating a self-reinforcing strategic cycle, a concept I call the Sovereignty Multiplier. And understanding how that multiplier works is the most critical piece of this entire puzzle. This multiplier works by reversing the fundamental logic of military procurement. Instead of a purchase being a recurring, decades-long drain on the national budget, it becomes an investment in a self-reinforcing cycle of national resilience. First, the model immediately tackles our hollowing industrial base. The proposal isn't to buy planes from a catalog, it's to build them here. Full technology transfer means we are not just assembling kits. We are rebuilding a sovereign aerospace capability, creating high-skill, long-term careers for Canadian engineers and technicians, and anchoring an entire supply chain within our own borders. Second, the cycle is fueled by profound operational efficiency. The Gripen's documented operating cost sits between $7,000 and $10,000 per flight hour. Compare that to the F-35's cost, which is estimated between $33,000 and $38,000. For the equivalent funding, this translates into roughly 3 times more Arctic patrol hours, more presence, more surveillance, more sovereignty for the same dollar. But stop for a moment. Lower operating costs just sounds like an accounting benefit. The strategic genius here isn't about saving money. It's about where those billions of dollars are reinvested. If you miss this final step in the cycle, you miss the entire logic of the Sovereignty Multiplier. Those freed up funds are what allow us to finally address the glaring infrastructure gaps in our own territory. This is how we pay for hardening and extending runways in the high north, building new forward operating locations, and upgrading the aging north warning system. The aircraft purchase itself generates the very capital needed to make our geography defensible, a fighter jet that pays for its own garage. This isn't a theoretical model. This is strategic autonomy in action, and it has been successfully implemented. Brazil didn't just buy a jet. They bought a capability. They sent over 350 of their own engineers and technicians to Sweden. Today, in March 2026, they are unveiling the first Gripen fighter jet built entirely in Brazil by Brazilians. They now own the process. That is what technological sovereignty looks like in the 21st century. Crucially, this control extends into the digital realm. The Saab offer includes full sovereign control over the Gripen's mission software and its data. There is no mandatory dependency on a foreign-hosted logistics system. Our data, our mission parameters, our control. This is how a purchase becomes a pillar of long-term national strength, turning an expenditure into a self-funding engine of sovereignty. So the logic of the Sovereignty Multiplier is compelling. It's a closed-loop system that directly answers the strategic anxiety of resource dilution. However, a powerful idea on paper is one thing. Navigating it through the immense inertia of established systems, alliance politics, and decades of ingrained policy is another challenge entirely. And here, at this Canadian crossroads, that inertia presents itself as two formidable hurdles. The first is the sheer weight of existing commitments. Canada is already deeply invested in the F-35 program. Our official commitment is for 88 aircraft, with the total program cost now projected by the Auditor General to reach approximately $27.7 billion by 2025. This creates an immense financial and logistical lock-in, a powerful pressure to simply stay the course. But this is precisely where clear strategic thinking is required. The question isn't about the billions we have already spent. That money is gone. The real question is, what is the wisest way to spend the next $50 billion to secure Canadian sovereignty for the next 50 years? The second hurdle is a competing vision for the distant future. Some influential voices within the Royal Canadian Air Force leadership are looking towards the Global Combat Air Program, or GCAP, a joint UK-Italy-Japan effort to develop a sixth-generation fighter. It's an understandable impulse to align with major allies on a futuristic project. The reality, however, is that fighters from programs like GCAP are unlikely to enter service for another 20 to 30 years. This creates a vast strategic capability and industrial gap between today's needs and tomorrow's ambitions, a gap the Saab proposal is specifically designed to fill. And so the two sides of the national debate come into sharp focus. On one side, there's the path of continuity. Double down on the F-35 and bet long-term on an allied program like GSAP. This is a bet on alliance interoperability and future-gazing. On the other side, there's the path of tailored sovereignty, a mixed fleet incorporating the Gripen. This is a bet on immediate industrial benefits, profound cost effectiveness, and a defense posture explicitly designed for the geographic realities of Canada. This becomes the ultimate test. Will the gravitational pull of existing investments and alliance structures win out? Or will the undeniable logic of our own geography, our Arctic, our vast distances, finally dictate our national strategy? But framing this as a simple choice between one aircraft and another misses the entire point. It's a retail level argument about a wholesale level problem, because beneath the question of hardware lies a far more fundamental choice. It's not about what we fly. It's about how we intend to think, to operate, and to defend. It is a choice of doctrine. And that choice of doctrine is this: the choice between being a customer in a vast global system often designed for others, or becoming a true partner in an ecosystem specifically aligned with our own northern reality. We started this analysis with a confusing number, that 33% interoperability score. But what we uncovered was a far deeper story. We saw how Sweden's geography forged a doctrine of resilience, how that doctrine produced a specialized tool in the Gripen, and how that tool now forms the core of a partnership offer that could act as a sovereignty multiplier for Canada. This framework for thinking, prioritizing our geography, our strategic independence, and our industrial self-reliance is the essence of what we can call the Arctic Resilience Doctrine. It's a lens for evaluating the critical choices ahead. This isn't an argument against our alliances. It is a strategic argument for a Canada that can independently secure its own vast territory first. It's an acknowledgement that our primary responsibility is the sovereign defense of the North, a duty defined not by policy papers in distant capitals, but by the unforgiving reality of our own map. If this framework for thinking about strategy and sovereignty is valuable to you, subscribe for more analysis that goes beyond the headlines.